Yeah, hello everyone. Good morning. So let us start the session. So let me quickly rewind what discussed in the last session. So what is an application? So basically an application is nothing but a software component. So an application is nothing but a software component. So developed, it was developed by using a technology, technology and run on a operating system. In that operating system, if application was a web application, it will run on a browser. Okay, na? Okay, so basically we're having so many types of applications. For example, web application, mobile application, Windows application, networking application. Okay, so let me quickly rewind and we'll continue the today's session. Okay, AI application, ML application, so many different types of applications are. Okay, na? So out of this one, our target is to learn about a web application. Web application. So what is a web application? Say application is a software component. Web application is a software component. So it was developed by using web technologies and run on web browser. Okay, na? So it was developed by using the web technologies and run on web browser. So now the question is, what are the web technologies? Web technologies. So basically, web technologies are three things. One is HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So it was controlled under the World Wide Web, WWW. It was controlled under the World Wide Web. So World Wide Web is saying about, so you should not be create alternative HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So if you want to create, instead of creating, you can able to develop your own library or a framework. So we're having the different types of libraries. For example, so CSS having a library, JavaScript also having a library. So either library or a framework. Okay. So for example, CSS, Bootstrap, okay, material UI, Tailwind, CSS. So many other things are there, etc. So coming to the JavaScript, earlier we are having a very famous one, jQuery. Okay, jQuery, React JS, Angular, Vue.js, Kendo.js, Any.js. Lot of JavaScript framework and libraries are available in the market. So out of all this, React grabbing the market because of its features, its usability. Okay, na? So I will explain you the features of React. Next, web browser. So web browser is nothing but a compiler. Okay, na? So any technology. So any technology, it was compiled by the compiler and run on a. It was compiled by the compiler and run it. For example, Java was compiled by the Java framework. .NET was compiled by the .NET framework. So same here also. HTML, CSS, JavaScript are compiled by the web compiler. Okay. Na? Next. So we have started with the four component, sorry, types of web application. How many types of web applications are there? Basically two types. One is a static application. Next one is the dynamic application. So what is mean by static and what is mean by dynamic? Static means HTML and CSS and Bootstrap. You are developing an application using HTML, CSS and Bootstrap is called static. So if you are developing an application using the static plus JavaScript, is nothing but a dynamic and is simply a user interactable web application. Okay, na? User interactable web application. It was developed by using dynamic. Okay. Okay. So next, we have seen about the core components of HTML. Core components. What are the core components of HTML? So the first one is first one is element. Next one is the tag. Next one is the attribute. Element to tag and attribute. Okay, what is mean by element? So element in the sense, an element represent the content to be displayed. So for example, let me open a Netflix, okay, some website. So an element is nothing but it used to, for example, here you can able to see the title, right? So title is represented by the H2 element, H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. Okay, but header elements are represented by the header one is the H1. Okay, so here my intention is, for example, element represent the content, and we have seen about the element in the last session. Element represent the content, header element, paragraph element, division element. So many different types of elements are. Sir, what is mean by tag? Tag represent the element. So your tag represent the element. For example, division is represented by div. Header one is represented by h1. So like this. Okay. Next and important attribute. Today we are going to be focusing on a attribute. Okay. So what is mean by attribute? Attribute will add appearance and behavior. Appearance and behavior. Sir, what is mean by appearance? Appearance is nothing but a visualization. So appearance is nothing but a visualization. Effects. Styling. Okay. Behavior. Behavior is represented by events or actions. Okay. Na? So these things we have discussed. Okay. And we have seen about a sample application. We have seen about a sample application in the last session. Okay. So this is about the last sessions. Any question from this one team? Okay. So let us start with by creating a simple application. So already I have explained about the architecture of web application. Let me go to the examples. Sample app we have created, right? So today we are going to be discussed about a attributes. In that attribute, we are going to be discussed about a styling. Okay. So style example, style app. Okay. So let me say style app. So already told you. So if you are creating this, how to create a architecture of a web application. First, we need to create a folder. Next, we need to open this folder in the Visual Studio Code. Just open Visual Studio Code and go to the folder. That is the one approach. Second approach is, okay, so please take this point, open a web application in a VS Code. Open web application in the VS Code. Go to the application folder address bar and type CMD. What you need to do thing? Go to the application specific address bar. This is my application, right? So in this application, go to the address bar. This is my address bar. Type CMD. Okay. So let me tell you again. So what I need to do, for example, my one is the React batch 18. So in the example, so style app is my application. Go to the address bar. This is called address bar. Type CMD. And you need to run the command called code space dot. It will open a Visual Studio Code. Okay, this is the simple shortcut. So it will open a Visual Studio. Okay. What is that command? Code space dot. It will run and open in the Visual Studio. Okay. So my application is what? Open. Already told you. So in any application, the first entry point is the index.html. The first and entry point is the index.html. And what and all other folders? Let me create a assets folder. All the folders we need to create under the assets. Yes, everyone, please go ahead. What under the folder we need to create under the assets? CSS. Next, JS. Next, images. Under the assets folder, we're having the CSS, images, and the JavaScript. Yes. So everyone tell me the skeleton of HTML. HTML ఎలా ఉంటుందో చెప్పండి. It will start with doc type HTML. Next, HTML. HTML having the two parts. One is the head section. What is the purpose of a head section? It will add meta information. Okay. Next one is the body section. Next one is the body section. In the body, what we are going to add?
Content.
Content. Perfect. Okay. So please interact like this. Okay. So in the content, for example, so let me add some content. Okay. So same here, we will try this one itself. Okay. So this is my header. Okay. So this is my header. Okay. So how to run this one? Just go to your application, open in the Chrome. Open in the Chrome. So your application will be running. Okay. So next, let us discuss about some styles. So here you are observing, right? You are having some background image, correct? You are having some background image. So next here you are having the some logo. So how to work such a things? Okay. So first, let me download Netflix logo. Netflix logo. Okay. So let me take this one. How to download? Just drag and drop. Where I need to be add it under the
Image.
images. Under the assets images. Okay. Netflix logo. Okay. So now I need to be refer this image. Okay. So let me refer. So how to refer a image and how many ways to refer a image? Before this header, I need to be refer. So by using the which tag img, and it is called the image element. So img src is equal to. So how to refer a one file in another file? In the last session, I have told you, right? In this session, I'm going to be explained. Yes. Okay. To refer a one file in another file, we must understand the relation between the files. What we need to understand? We need to understand the relation between the files. So for example, so these two are having the side by side, right? So these two are a side by side. So if any file is a side by side, those are in the sibling relation. Those are in what type of relation team? Sibling. Okay, so let me tell you one more thing. For example, now what is the relation between the CSS folder and images folder, which are side by side, one after another? These are called sibling relation. Okay, na? So sibling in the sense brothers are a brother and sister. Okay, so next parent and child relation. Now CSS and index, which are a side by side, CSS folder and index.html, these are not a side by side. So these are in the parent and child relation. Parent and child relation. For example, so for example, let me take a B. Okay, na? So AB having a okay C file, D file. Okay. Otherwise, let me take like this. So here we are having the I for index.html. Next one is the A for assets. So this is having the index.html directly. Okay. Assets having a CSS, images, and a JavaScript files. So in this situation, images and CSS are in a okay. All these three are in a sibling relation, which are a side by side. Can be one after another or anything in that same folder. So the files are under a one folder are called sibling relation. The sibling relation will be referred by the dot slash. if I want to refer a CSS in the index.html, these two are direct files? No. So these images and assets are a sibling. Images and assets are a sibling. Okay, the images and assets are a sibling. So these two are the sibling. CSS is the child of A. This is nothing but a child, parent and child relation. Let me say P and C, parent and child relation. Okay. So now what is the relation between the index.html and CSS file? Definitely it is the parent and the child relation. Okay. So let me explain you about the parent and child relation. Now I'm just taking whatever architecture we have designed in the here. Okay, we have taken that same architecture. So index.html file, this is the assets folder, this is the CSS, this is the images. Okay, na? This is the JavaScript. So CSS, images, and JavaScript are a sibling folder. Okay, so the folder or files under one folder is called a sibling, which are referred by using a dot slash. Next, assets and CSS having the parent and child. So these are the parent and child. Index.html assets are in a sibling. For example, okay, na? Your father and your father brother. So simply, so your father brother kid is nothing but a child of your father only, right? So same like this one. So now CS and images are in a parent and child relation. So let me explain this relation in notes. Okay. So relation between the files are folders. Relation between the files are a folders. Okay. So basically there are two types of relations. Two types of relations. What one is a sibling relation. Second one is the parent and child relation. So one is the sibling relation. Second one is the parent and child relation. So this relation will be applicable to the HTML elements in the HTML. So in one HTML page, you are going to design elements, right? So that relation will be defined there also. So let me take as a sibling relation. Okay. The files are folders under one folder. A folder contain files and a folder, right? One folder are having a sibling relation. Okay. Are having a sibling relation. Next. Side by side files are folders are having a sibling relation. Brother and sister. Brothers are sisters, brother and sister. That relation. Next one is parent and child relation. For example, straightforward. The files are folders are not under one folder. Simple. If they are not under one folder, definitely those are having a parent and the child relation. Are having a parent and child relation. Okay, now clear, right? Next. So, for example, sibling relation is represented by dot slash. Parent and child relation is represented by dot slash. Simple dot slash and dot slash. Okay. Even for the with the dot slash, we can able to give the reference, but we need to understand which one is the correct, which one is the wrong. Okay. So for example, index.html assets. So which are in the which relation? Sibling relation. Correct? Dot slash assets slash images slash Netflix logo dot png. Okay. So see here. So let me come here and refresh my system. Okay. I'm getting the image. So sometimes by mistake, you may have given like this. So what is the thing? Dot slash sample app slash asset slash images slash. Okay. Sir. What is your style app? Okay. Dot slash style app slash asset slash images slash Netflix Pro. Okay. Though this also will work. Okay. Let me refresh. It also will work. But which one is the correct? That is the thing you need to understand. What we did here now. So here instead of going to the assets, you went through the style app. From the style app, assets to image to your logo. Okay. Indirectly we are going there. Oh. So this type of mistakes were regularly seeing, so correct it. So you need to understand the first step. So dot slash, you must go to the assets, which are side by side or which are under one folder. Assets, images, Netflix launch. Okay, now clear? Now clear, team? Parent, child and sibling relation.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right. So for example, don't do this mistake from now onwards. By default, they will be only by heart like this. I want to give a dot slash style, yeah, assets. Both will work, but which one is the best and which one is the correct, you need to be understand. Okay, so dot slash assets, images, Netflix logo. Okay, so now this is called the image. So image is working now. So now I want to add a background image. Okay, so let me add a background image. So this is called my background image, right? Okay, so we'll discuss the background image before going to discuss about background image. So let us work with the styles. Okay, so let us work with the styles first. I want to make the color to this one by using the style attribute. So already told you what is an attribute. A attribute will add appearance and behavior to an element. So appearance is added by the style. For example, I want to make the color to this one. Okay, how to make background color aqua. Simply I'm just adding a background color. Okay, now you are able to see, right? So let us take the heading. Apply styles to an element. Apply styles to an element. Okay. So there are three ways to apply style to an element. Basically, three ways. One is inline styles. Next one is internal styles. Next one is external styles. Okay, na? Basically, there are three ways to apply style to an element. Okay, inline style, internal style, and external style. Okay, so please take heading inline styles. So what is mean by inline styles? Within the HTML element, by using the style attribute, adding a style is called inline element styles. Inline style is nothing but a within the HTML element, adding the style by using the style attribute is called inline styles. Okay, so take it as a within the HTML element using a style attribute, adding the styles to an element is called inline styles. Okay, so example, So you need to use that. Sorry. Let me take the syntax first. Syntax, tag, style. Okay. Always style is nothing but it will use the key and the value pair. Okay, na? Style key colon value. So you need to be represent some content and close the tag. Okay. Always style is a key and the value pair. So style is nothing but a key and value pair. Same structure. Style is nothing but a key and value pair. Na? So key and value pair basically used in the concept of object. First, take this one. I will explain that. So which is related to the React JS. Okay, na? Always style is nothing but a key and value. Okay, so now React people having the styling. React styling was a different from the React also using the inline style, internal and external style. But React is the JavaScript file. A React component is nothing but a JavaScript. In the JavaScript file, if you want to use the style, so basically a style is nothing but a key and value. So where is this concept was used by key and value was used under the concept of object. Under the concept of where the object. So in the React JS, we are going to be prepare an object and bind to the element. That is the React internal style. We are preparing object to bind to an element. React inline style. So that we will discuss in detail. But I'm just want to add this key and value pair is nothing but the object. In the React JS, we are creating object and bind to an element. Okay. So next, take this example. So if you observe here, background hyphen color. So this type of case is called chain case. This type of case is called chain case. So basically our programming language, our scripting, HTML, everything was a English only. Am I correct? We are going to write a coding in the English. But if you are writing English, normal English on the pen and paper, so you are using the certain. So you must start with a capital letter. After a colon, you must give a space. After a dot, you must give a space. Next, for the nouns, you must start with a capital letter. Correct? So same like this, your programming language also nothing but English. This English also following a 4 different types. Okay, na? The first one is the Pascal case, camel case, chain case, and snake case. Okay. So after this styling types, I will explain that. Okay. Na? After the styling type, I will explain how to work with the Pascal case, camel case, chain case, and snake case. These 4 cases I will explain. Okay. Those are the standard of writing a programming language. Okay. Hope everybody is clear with the inline styles. Next, internal. What is mean by internal? Internal style. So internal in the sense within the HTML page, under the head section, using a style element. Using style element, you are adding a style is called internal styles. So I will tell you the definition. Internal style in the sense in the HTML page, under the head section, using the style element, adding style to an element is called what it is? Internal stylings. So in the internal styling, so for example, if it is the inline style, you are using the style. But in the internal style, how to add it? In the internal style, how to add it? Okay, so in the internal style, we need to use again CSS selectors. In the internal or external, we need to use the CSS selectors to add a styles. For example, we are having a different types of selectors. Let me use the H2 element. Okay, H2 element. So background color, yeah. Okay, so H2 was there. So based on the H2, it will apply. Okay, so let me change this some color. Let me change to. Okay, it was changed. So now take the definition. What is mean by internal styles? So please take the notes. So within the HTML page under header section using style element applying styles to HTML elements is called the internal styling. Is called what type of styling team? Internal style. Okay. So where we are going to be add under the head section. So just to take this one as the example. But when to use the inline style, when to use the internal style, when to use the external style, I will give you the difference based on the situation, based on the requirement. Okay. So this is called the CSS selector. This is called the selector. CSS selector. Let me know once you're done. Is that done? So in this internal selector, we are using the CSS selector. So what we are using the CSS selector. So let's just take the external styling definition and we'll see the one by one selector. Okay. So external style. So how to apply the external styling? By using, so external style is, external styles was applied. Let me explain here and then I will explain you there. So here you are creating the separate CSS file. So if it is under either common CSS file or you can able to create anyway. So in the external styling, we are going to be create a CSS. Let me create a index.css, index.css. So instead of adding here, okay, we are going to add in the external file. Okay, but it will be applied now. So file was not saved. Okay, now saved. So see here, I lost the style. But how to apply this one? So you must refer the external CSS file by using the link element. Link element href is equal to. Now what is the relation between the index.html and assets folder, which are in a sibling dot slash asset slash. Now I need to be refer a CSS now. CSS slash index.css. Okay. So if I give the reference like this, it will work. Again, it will not work. So again, you need to be give the relation between the file. What is the relation? RL stands for relation. What is the relation? Style sheet. Once you give the relation, then it will be loads the styles. Okay. So in the external CSS, what we are doing, team? So creating a separate CSS file and refer that CSS file in the HTML page using link element, using link element. So example, so take this one link href. What is RL stands for? Relation. So what is it? RL stands for relation attribute. What it will do? Define a relation between the between the CSS file and the HTML. So it will define relation between the CSS and the HTML file. Okay, Nati? Okay. So now in the internal or external, if you want to apply style to an element, you must understand the selectors. Okay. What are those selectors? We'll see here. So please take a heading of CSS selectors. So CSS selectors are very important. So in the regular session, regular working, everybody trying to use the class. But other than the class, we are having the tag, ID, class, and attribute. My favorite one is the attribute. Attribute means dynamically we can able to applying colors to an element also dynamically from the database. For example, take it as a I want to represent. So see here, CM dashboard. Okay, na? So every government having their own dashboard. So AP dashboard also is there. AP CM dashboard. Every state having their own dashboards. Dashboard in the sense it was display about the information. Here it is a lot of information. AP state government. No. Okay, let me open one time. No. AP dashboards. Design portfolio. Yeah, see here earlier I can able to see the dashboard like this. So here you can able to see different shades of color, right? It will depends on the range. Okay, now for all this range were categorized to 1. This range was a 2. This range was a 3. This range was a 5. So for the range of the 5, we are going to be change the shade. Okay, na? So that done by using the custom attributes, sorry, attributes, custom attributes. So that is my favorite one. I will explain you now itself. Okay. So take it as a heading CSS selectors. Okay. So CSS selectors are used to apply styling to an element in internal or external styles. Okay, CSS selectors are used to apply styling to an element in internal or external styles. The first one is the tag based styling. First one is the tag. Second one is the ID based styling. Next one is the class based styling. Next one is attribute based styling. So tag ID class attribute based. Next one is relation based styling. Okay, next one is the relation based style. Again, HTML elements having the relation, parents, child relation, sibling relation, immediate parent, immediate child, or any child, immediate sibling or any sibling. Four different types. I will explain you in detail. Okay, na? So take it as first one is the tag based style. So what is mean by tag based styling? So please take the notes. Yeah, please take it tag based style. So apply styles to an element based on the tag is called tag based style. What is the syntax? You need to specify the tag. So this should not be called as element based. Paragraph in is element, which is represented by the P. So here you are going to be define the P only, right? So here you need to specify the key colon one, semicolon. Okay, syntax is very important in case of the interviews. Okay. Example, take it as a, so already we have taken a H2, H2. Here we are going to be apply the, for example, background hyphen color. So background hyphen color is nothing but a chain case or snake case, chain case. I will explain you the four type of different cases tomorrow. So background color, just take it as a, so this is the tag based style. Hope you take it. Okay. So this is called tag based style. Next. So same, for example, so let me apply background color black. Let me apply color colon white. Let me refresh. Background color black, color colon. Okay, so the styles are applied. Next. Next one is ID based styling. ID based style. Okay. Apply style to an element based on the ID. Based on the ID. So syntax, how to represent an ID? So ID is represented by the hash. Hash ID name, and then you must give, so simply key colon. Okay, na? So here ID represented by hash. ID represented by hash. Okay, na? So for example, here I'm saying the color white, right? Let me say the color red. Okay, this is called what type of color red. So now let me apply how to add a color. For example, this is my header. ID is equal to header. Okay, I'm saying about a header. How to apply? Hash header. So let me apply a color colon white. So now tell me, I'm having a question to you. So what is the expectation color to this element? Now it will be show in the white color or it will show in the red color?
Red,
Hmm?
red color.
Why? But I hear, see, this is the ID, right? So ID also I applied.
Yes, but we should
Right.
call within the header tag only, not outside the.
Oh, come again.
We need to call that one within the head tag, within that HTML only.
So you are saying about if you want to use the ID based styling, ID based styling
Ah,
will be apply only under the header, not in the external. Is that one?
no problem. Yes.
No. So no. So basically in the inline or internal or external, we can able to apply the CSS selector stylings, either internal, external, anything can be fine. Okay. Na? So we can able to apply in the external file also. Okay. Now based on that one, tell me. So now it will be apply the red color or white color. Anyone? Hope you was clear, right? So you are saying about under head only, I need to be right this ID based styling. No. So CSS selector can able to apply either internal or external. Anything can be fine. So now based on the ID, we have applied the styles. Okay. So under tag also we have applied. So which styling will be applied? It will apply based on a tag or a header. It will apply both and come in a different color. Okay, okay, fine. So let me show you the. So white color is the why. For example, H2 was defined first, next header was defined first. First it is applying, next it was applying. If you are thinking like this, let me change the order. Still white color. Okay. No? So there is a order of applying style to an element. So end of the CSS selectors, I will explain you the order of applying a styles. Okay. So order of applying the styles, I will explain end of the CSS selectors. For example, I have the external stylings and let me add the internal stylings. For example, color colon green. So now tell me, header white color will become, red color will become, or green color will become? White, red, green. Which color will become? To this element color?
Green color.
Because there is a order of priority of applying the style to an element. That order I will give you a list. Okay. Na? So now everybody is clear. Apply style to an element based on the ID. This is the ID based styling. So take an example for ID based styling. Okay, team. So that's it for today. So in the tomorrow session, so in detail, we'll see about other selectors. So what and all the other selectors are there? Class based, attribute based, and relation based. Attribute and relation based is very important. So attribute one is the my favorite one. I will show you. Based on the range, can we change the color? Means yes. For example, I have the patient. So the certain range, I have the share. I have the certain range. For example, below some category, above some category. I want to show in a different background color. We'll see it. Okay. Na? So next relation based styling. So in the relation based styling, so I have one parent element and the sibling elements will be there definitely in the project. So based on the relation, okay, we can able to apply the styles which will reduce the number of lines of code also. Okay, I will explain in the tomorrow session. So what we have discussed in the today's session, please take a questions. Relation between the files. The first question is, so how many types of relation between the files? The next one is relation between the files. The next one is how many ways to apply style to an element. How many ways to apply style to an element? What is a CSS selector and how many types? Okay, so all these questions, please add end of your book. So tomorrow, after 2 years or 1 year or 6 months, once you are going to be changed, you can able to revise the subject at one time. So today your task is, so as per the day, please complete your task. I will explain you how to post in the Git. Okay. So after 2 days, I will explain you. So you can able to daily basis post it. Otherwise, daily or weekly basis post it. Okay. Na? So today your task is create a static web application with images and use colors. And use instead of the colors, let me say styles. Okay, team.